What's going on, guys? We're here with our YouTube exclusive Cues with the Beauts. Thank you again to everybody always checking this out. Make sure you subscribe. Don't miss a beat of any Beauts videos, including Cues with the Beauts, which we do every single week where we engage and take your mailbag questions. So, Fred, what do we got this week? I know the first person.
Please start with Pat's question.
You have to, because he already DM'd me saying, make sure you ask my question. It better be first. So,
well, first off, I'm going to say I'm a little disappointed you do our little theme song that you've done every single time. So
I know. I've been cringing lately when I watch it. I'm like,
we have to.
Stop.
We have to. All right. First question from Pat Micheletti. Chirping, Jesse. Top 6 forward we should bring back to replace Zuccarello.
So the chirp first of all set the scene for this. Yeah.
In case you guys didn't see Pat and I's little Twitter engagement the other day. Alexis and I had talked about on last week's episode about possibly bringing Granland back for maybe a year. I said
said possibly, first of all. Yeah. Yes. And only a year. So everyone settle down.
Only a year to maybe help fill the hole that Zuccarello's injury possibly has. Right. So that was my thought. And because I said very outrightly, I don't want to bring him back as an unrestricted free agent. I don't want to sign him to some crazy, I never liked that idea. But now with Zuccarello hurt, I'm having a tough time figuring out what those lines look like. And I trust Granland. I like Granland. Pat didn't quite agree with me. And I love when Pat and I don't agree, because it's quite fun. It makes for good. So he was like, wait, do you mean top 6 forward? Like, oh, Granland. And then of course everybody jumps on like, yeah, this isn't 2011. This isn't like whatever. You guys aren't wrong, right? I mean, you're not wrong. I just think that there's a possibility. I like it. I'm going to stick with Granland for consistency's sake. Again, I'm having a tough time thinking of what else is available or who else is actually a legit option. I think Granland would sign in a heartbeat.
I love how you and I essentially were on the same page 100%, and you got all of the heat on this, and I tweeted, I was like, one like
you love the idea
equals a signature on the petition to bring him back, and my tweet got like 50 likes, and everyone left me alone. I was like, great, Jesse can take the heat for this. So I don't know why everyone went. I mean, we put it on Bardown Beauties. Both of us retweeted it, and for some reason, everyone attacked Jesse on her Twitter. So,
and again, I thought my response was very logical. I was like, I didn't like the idea of bringing him back originally when we talked about, because we talked about it months ago, and Alexis was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, no.
My reason is completely illogical. I'm like, just bring him back to Minnesota. Jesse's like, okay, here's the thing. Put him on a 1-year deal. Like, you can resign. Like, Jesse has it all thought out. Yeah. And for some reason, everyone's hating on Jesse. So
it's fine. I could take it. I love it. Bring it on. So Mick, I love you too. I do. I'll stick with Granland. Why not? Let's see what happens. Alexis, do you have anybody else?
I would too, because who else is out there who it's fun to play games with, like, oh, can we bring this person on? It's like, well, yeah, if you had $2 billion, like, you can't always afford the people that you think might be the best fit. So Granland is someone the Wild can afford based on what the Wild originally paid him, what the Predators paid him, and what it's projected that he would maybe be expecting in a deal. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you don't have to bring him on forever. It's just to fill a hole. And can we keep in mind, no offense to Matt Zuccarello, but do you think that Granland would be worse than what Zuccarello did? He didn't stand out. We need someone to stand out. So that's the way I look at it.
New players, like I haven't seen this team as it is new. So I do admit I forget about your Beninos and your Marcus Johanssons, but I don't know where they fit in with this. Like I haven't seen that. So I am going with what I know, what I trust, right? And I like familiarity, I think.
So take that, Pat.
Yeah.
We're doubling down on the Granland signing.
I mean, there were some people who supported it. They were like, yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm like, thank you. So Nick, that's what we got for you. Next question.
We've aired our beef out with that.
Keep it Aaron. Joe Bouley, he's always a good, consistent Beaut. He asks, I think this is actually him fishing for maybe some person in his life that he wants some information on. Favorite hockey-themed Christmas gift. So if you've got something, make sure it can get there before Christmas.
Yeah, expedite. I would say Bardown Beauties hockey jersey is probably the best gift. But no, I've loved all my jerseys, and I think I've always gotten most of them came for my birthday, which is in September. Yep. Maybe I got one for Christmas, but the best hockey themed gift I ever got was, so I got into hockey because my mom liked hockey, and her and I, two very different people. Like, I'm perky and fun, and she's like not. I love her, but we're night and day. And, but hockey was one thing that I always saw growing up that would be kind of our bond. And so when I told her, like, Mom, I think I really like hockey, because she was obsessed, like just crazy diehard hockey fan. So she got me a Frozen Memories book. And so she always got me books because I just love reading and I just loved that part of things. So she got me a Frozen Memories book and a couple other hockey books. And that was probably my favorite. And she wrote like a little note inside. She's like, I can't wait to share the joy of the sport with you. So, and I'm such like a history nerd too. So if you guys have never heard of the Frozen Memories, Ross Bernstein put them together. There are 2 of them. They're kind of big coffee table books with pictures and the history of hockey here in Minnesota. She doesn't like to attribute hockey anywhere else except Minnesota. So she's an International Falls Iron Ranger. She thinks it belongs on the range, and that's her. But that's, long story short, that's my favorite book, because again, it just has a little personal connection, and it's a great book. If you don't have it, go check it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have gotten a lot of hockey related Christmas gifts, just because I've been a hockey fan for so long, just like you, Jesse. So it's even hard to think back, like, what I got each year and what they were. I think the first thing that comes to my mind, because I don't even remember when I got all of my hockey jerseys. I think some might have been birthday gifts. So, so that I don't lie to you guys, I'm going to go with something I know I got for Christmas, which was, I was probably like maybe like 11 or 12. And I got like one of those like winter hats where like the ears come down and they've got like the strings on
like
them.
the classic flaps. Yeah.
And it was a Minnesota Wild one. It was like red and green striped, had the logo on it. And I think I wore that literally 24/7. I'm not even kidding you. I wore it inside, outside. I don't care where I was, for probably like 2 months straight. I don't know what my obsession with the hat was, but I wore it all the time. I didn't take it off. So that, as weird as that one sounds, it was a winter Minnesota Wild hat that I just wore nonstop.
I mean, there you go. That makes sense.
It's cold in Minnesota. Got to keep my ears warm.
It's a little chilly. Fred, you got any good hockey themed gifts?
Yeah, season tickets.
Ooh,
you got season tickets?
Good one.
No, I didn't get anything. I'm just saying, if you want to get a hockey, get season tickets. Why not?
Oh,
I thought I did get my husband an air hockey, like a little tabletop air hockey table one time, which was a pretty fun.
We have credit cards for a reason. Why not go for the season tickets?
Terrible advice.
So Fred is
somebody in credit card debt. That's terrible advice.
Sorry, guys.
No, I mean, I think there's so much. There's some really cool stuff. Like the Hockey Lodge has some really cool, unique things that I'm always like, dang, that's cool. Like my husband, and I still make fun of him because he feels like this was maybe a sexist gift, but I love it. He got me a Minnesota Wild like chef's apron. And I remember, I guess he had said when, and it's an awesome apron, I wear it all the time, but he like told one of his buddies and they're like, wow, that's sexist. Like you're telling her to get in the kitchen. He's like, I think she'll really like it. And I do. I love it.
You love
like,
to cook.
Yeah, I love to cook. So, I mean, I think the Hockey Lodge has some really cool, unique things that I've always seen. That's always kind of fun. I got my dad. So my dad's tout to fame is he scored on Steve Janicek once upon a time in high school, because he graduated with Steve Janicek at Hill Murray. And so I found a Steve Janicek hockey card on Amazon for like $2. And so I bought that for him. I was like, here you go. He's like, I scored on this guy. And he's like, well, you have Alzheimer's. You don't remember anything else, but you scored on Steve
Just
Janicek.
The important things.
Exactly.
Minnesota has such a like extensive hockey history all the way down to the high school, college, pro. So it's like there's so many like cool gifts that you can think of on so many different levels. And there are people who are like only like high school hockey or they only like college hockey. And so there's so many. I mean, we had David LeVake on talking about his book. If you're a high school hockey fan, that's a great Christmas gift. There is just between jerseys and t-shirts and so many fun things that you can get people. So I know I got my goddaughter a Minnesota Wild like tattoo, Minnesota Wild tutu one time, where it was like, and she wore it like nonstop for after she got it. She loved it so much. So a lot of cool Christmas gifts. You can start thinking for next year.
Again, Soda Stick Teespring got you your Bardown Beauties items and merchandise, so be sure to check those out. That's going to do it for this week's Q&A with the Beauts. Again, thanks to Pat, thanks to Joe for submitting. Be sure to get your questions in every week on our YouTube exclusive. Have a good one.